Hi, welcome to Jadekind Gaming. My name is Adam, and today I'm going to be unboxing and taking a look at some of the flat plastic miniatures by ArcKnight. I got a few sets of these. Basically, they have they have two different size packs options. They have like normal ones, and then they have hoard packs. Normal ones have 62 minis, and hoard packs have 31 minis. And they have basically a trial kind of thing, where if you're willing to to give up choice of which packs you can get 2 hoard packs and a normal pack for the price of a normal pack and a hoard pack. And that's what I did, largely because when I was looking at them, the 2 I was interested in were among there, so it's basically 1 free for me. But it was still, I was like, that's a pretty good deal. But basically, they're an alternative to the Pathfinder Mini. And they just had some things in there that I don't get with Pathfinder. So if we take a look here, the ones that I have are the Underground, the Spider Queen's Horde, and these were the 2 that I was interested in, given my current campaign that'll be coming to the channel soon, and the Grove Horde. So 2 basically Underdark sets, and then 1 for Nature, which I don't know when I'll use it, but you know, it doesn't hurt. And I can kind of see what's in here. I can see the quality. I'm unboxing them, but they're in clear plastic bags. And you have the stands here. But there's, more in there than I can really see, so we'll be opening them up to look at them. However, I kind of feel like perhaps this is not going to give the best appearance, so I have a bit of canvas to give us a nice, better contrast to the background. Let's start with the Underground. And pull everything out. Okay. And of course I'll look through these, actually zoom in to do it. And there are different, you can start to tell already, there are different shapes to these figures. But I just want to pull one out, break off one of the bases, and just sort of see how these go in. Okay, they do fight you going into the base. But they'll make it. And let's just compare in size. Normal one, just very similar in size to a Pathfinder pawn. So, because ultimately I'm looking to use them at the table, and they will stand beside the Pathfinder pawns as additional minis. So, yeah, so similar in size, and that was one of the main things I was wanting to see. But yeah, if we take these here, let's actually zoom in so we can get a better idea of the art on these. Okay. Okay, and every other one is upside down, so, okay. So we got, Dwarven Lady, Lizard Guy, Dwarven Lady, Drow, and one thing that they do that the Pathfinder doesn't is the back side of them is the back of the art. That's one of the things I thought was cool. Then we skip a row to get to these, which if we flip over to their front. Dwarf, okay, that's an interesting looking lady. Maybe a deep dwarf, deep gnome, something, and monster. Flip them around. Is where this guy went. So, another wizard guy, mind flare. What is that? Is that a dark mantle? And is that a changeling? Shapeshifter? Whatever. Of course, you get back art for them. Then this row, can be flipped around for a monster, perhaps a sturge, like a fancy-looking sturge, and some dwarves. Okay. So for the underground, that's the first of 4. We get here sideways an ooze, a mushroom guy. That's certainly like a gnome. Another ooze, a centipede, another like a deep gnome. Kind of looks like maybe purple worm kind of creature, only smaller. Whatever. Drow. Drow and Aboleth. Let's see, we got, I recognize him, but I don't remember his name. What was that? It's supposed to be a basilisk, I think. No idea. Kind of a demonish monster, and not a beholder, but definitely some of the creatures in here, like the not a beholder, is one of the reasons to get it, because you don't get those in the Pathfinder. Alright, some more peoples. Dwarves, monster, drow. Again. It's like almost like a dwarf king. Get some more. I guess they're Duragar. And of course, art for the back of all of them. And then we get see some of these. Just looking at some normal halfling sort of. Whoops. Oh, that's like a mini kind of beholder, and its eyes droop down. I'm sure I'll find a use for that as well. More creatures. Oh, gelatinous cube. I was thinking, I know it's cube, it's gelatinous cube. Another, mind flare. Bigger fungus guy. And then for all of these, we have art of their backs. So then if we take a look at the Spider Queen's Horde, we're going to have, in this set, half as many, so only 2 sheets of actual figures. But we get just as many bases, so the Hordes work for that. And in general, I think it's the idea. Let's see here. We have some more Illithids, Drow, Drider, Drow, Illithid, Drow, Drider, and art for their back. So you sort of see the Horde is a lot of duplicate creatures that could be very useful. For example, if you have a city of Drow and you want to be prepared in case, you know, your players decide to pick a fight with the Drow, a set that includes a whole bunch of just Drow warriors might seem very useful for you. You know, just a thought. Again, we have like almost queenly sort of Drider, rather. Giant spider, big spiders, giant spider, really giant spider, sort of like a Drow queen priestess sort of creature. Drider, Illithid, Drider, Drow queen priestess individual. Could almost be like 3 different forms of one person. But yeah, in general, for drow, illithids, and spiders, as well as Jorgars, which are sort of halfway between drow and spiders, this set, this horde pack, is really good. Because it makes sure you got what you need for that. And I also like that just in general, I mean, like, there are these same size spiders, but there's different art for each one. So that's kind of cool. So that is the, what is it called? Spider Queen's Horde. And then the final one that I have is the Grove Horde. Which this one I actually know less about because this was not one that I was necessarily looking at on my own. Again, more bases, which is useful because obviously these won't use the normal Pathfinder bases. In order to use these, I have to use their own bases. Which, well, I think they do make these in colors. Like, I recently got colored bases for my players. Obviously, you could just do something like put a piece of colored tape underneath it, and because they're clear, cut a piece of colored tape below it, and it would work. So, that's definitely noteworthy. And so, let's see what we have with the, what is it called? The Grove. Elves. We get elves. 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 Elf. Centaur. Elves. And I mean, don't get me wrong, obviously, I just use, the blanket term elves for all those, other than the two centaurs, which, I mean, that's obviously medium-sized centaurs, so with the, somewhat recent, Unearthed Arcana that gave centaurs at the medium size, obviously very useful. The art for each elf is unique, so you get a whole bunch of different variations on elf. And then for our other, more interesting hit, you get wolves, bear, wolf warg kind of creature. I'm going to call it a dire bear. We'll say that one's an earth elemental. An ent, Trent. And some centaurs. Got another centaur and druid. We'll say druid. So yeah, definitely, grove, nature, lots of wolves, a couple bears, some centaurs and elves, and then just other general needs for that. And I'm just looking at the glare here also, because obviously these are shiny plastic, but you notice the printing on them is actually matte. You can just tell the glare changes as it goes across there. But anyways, yeah. So Grove, particularly a lot of elves, but some centaurs, especially of medium size, could be useful. Actually, I just realized that one's not a centaur. That horse has a head. That's an elf on a horse. Sorry, I almost called that a centaur. It's also not a horse. That's a unicorn. Which, of course, natural guardian, so it makes sense. But yeah, so the Grove pack, not actually incredibly useful for my current campaign, but I could foresee there being campaigns where I need that. And admittedly, some of them elves. With the Pathfinder pawns, I actually have a lot of elves. But the Spider Queen's Horde and the Underground packs had a number of creatures, an excessive number of drow, aboleths, the Beholder, some of the other aberrations that just with the Pathfinder pawns, I don't have. And I wanted to cover my bases for those. So that's kind of why I got them. And of course, getting the big set, came with a number of bases to use, so I'm set to start with that. And this is what ArcKnight is the company that makes it. And I will say, definitely, there's a little bit of bend to all of them, but with how it worked, because it kind of curves it slightly the way the base works, it kind of seemed to basically take the shape and, you know, sort of, even though the plastic is a little bendy, it kind of, you know, sets it upright once you get it sort of wedged in the base, although it wasn't excessively easy to get it in there. You kind of had to finagle it back and forth. But now that I know how to do it, it actually went in very quickly, so it's not all that difficult, really, once you know what you're doing. Otherwise, yeah. Base is basically the same height as the Pathfinder base, about the same size. So as far as the normal size ones, they're basically the same size. Obviously, bigger creatures are supposed to be bigger, so it should be, yeah, likewise. But otherwise, yeah. So I'll, of course, link below if you want to check out some of the ArcKnight flat plastic miniatures. And they have a lot of other sets, and I think that they, like a year ago or something, like, did like a second Kickstarter and are coming out with even more that aren't even out yet. You know, like I said, I got a set that got me, you know, basically a free Horde pack for accepting that they were choosing basically what they had probably the most stock of. It just happened to be that the one, but they tell you ahead of time which ones you'll get when you do that. So they were saying, hey, it's the ones you want anyways, and I was like, cool, worked out great for me. And obviously I haven't put them into play, but definitely, you know, cool art, size where they'll work along what I already have, and they fill some needs that I had in my collection. So yeah, like I said, I'll link below if you want to check those out online. But thank you for watching, and have a good day. Bye.